You've been driving for a while and you feel like you've hit a plateau and you're just not improving anymore. You've upgraded your hardware, but you're still not able to be as fast as you would like. Well, guess what? I did that too, okay? I'm as guilty as you are. And that's exactly why Racine and myself created what we call the advanced way to learn. By using the techniques that we're about to show you, we were able to win national championships, and we're now coaching real-life drivers and sim racers all across the globe. So let me tell you why you absolutely need this to improve your racing skills. On this platform, you'll go through 5 learning steps. The first one is going to be to watch video lessons so you can take in all that theory. The second step will be to answer quizzes. We've created some questions to test your knowledge. Next, you'll have to partake in challenges. Here, you'll have to prove to yourself that you can apply what you've learned. You'll go on track and you'll try to beat the instructor's lap times or sector time. Following the challenge, you'll be able to send your onboard replay so instructors and other community members can help you improve. And lastly, you can get involved in the community to meet some new teammates and learn from others. This platform is a back and forth discussion between us, the instructor, and you, the students. If you're serious about becoming the best driver out there, this is the advanced way to learn.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Hello everybody and welcome to Phoenix. Not the final round of the PRL Cup Series here for Season 4 of 2024, but instead the penultimate round of our championship. Before Atlanta next week, we need to decide who's going to go in as the series leader, and that is very much up for debate. Myself, and Lorenzo Brother will be taking you through the racing tonight. 1 hour on the clock again for the penultimate round of our championship. Good to have you back, Lorenzo. Just 4 points now separate Gabriel Perry and James O'Brien, who couldn't attend Martinsville 1 week ago. Perry was involved in at least 3 of the cautions in Martinsville 1 week ago as well, setting up a very interesting situation with 2 more rounds to go.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think Martinsville kind of provided the bump and go action that normally Martinsville provides. If we got away unscathed, then Martinsville would be very surprised. Let's see how Phoenix will go, if there will be any shockers like we had back a little bit earlier in NASCAR.
Absolutely, we'll see if we, or indeed what kind of race we're going to get here today. These are the points, and anyone within 63 of Gabriel Perry is within a mathematical chance of winning. That means the top 8 are all fitting that bill. Gabriel Perry leads, though, by 4 points out of Abner Acosta and Jean-Michel Gagnon. Those 4 are the likely 4 to be fighting it out for the title next week. Unai Yamas will be 5th ahead of Robert Visor Jr., who's just outside that top 5. Pat Harvey and Stephen Kirby are tied on points. They're the final 2 who can mathematically win. Luke Christian and Jose Medina round out the top 10. In the team standings, we're pretty much sure that Private Label Team Hype will take the title there. By 83 points, they currently lead over Sorpec, although DDI Motorsports are chasing them down. Waterback Racing and Necki Racing Team are 4th and 5th. Let's thank our sponsors before we get into the racing tonight at Phoenix, starting with Advanced Sim Racing. Owned and operated by passionate sim racers, Advanced Sim Racing designs and builds the sturdiest and most durable aluminium profile racing simulation cockpits available in the market today. All PRL members also get a 5% discount on AirStar products using the Precision 5 coupon code. Racebox offers mid and high-end button boxes for sim racing enthusiasts, from the casual gamer up to the most meticulous sim racing driver. Competitively priced and carefully handcrafted, our button boxes are an enjoyable addition to any sim racing setup. Visit raceboxsimracing.com and get a 5% discount using the Precision 5 coupon code. Bookkicker products add incredible immersion and realism to every game. Feel every nuance and truly put yourself in the driver's seat. Moradness is a performance lifestyle brand motivated by motorsport and founded by professional race car driver Daniel Morad. For more information, visit moradness.com. Mr. Hedge iRacing Photography. Capture your finest, proudest or simply worst moments from your hobby in up to 8K resolution. A great addition to any sim room. And finally, Advanced Motorsports. Get ready to learn to be fast with Advanced Motorsports. Follow them on their socials to become a better driver. A big thanks to all of those sponsors who make these broadcasts possible, as I say, each and every week. We are here in Phoenix. Let's have a look at the starting grid. That came up on me a bit quicker than expected. It's Abner Acosta who's taken the pole position, and indeed the point that goes with it. Gabriel Perry misses out by 82 thousandths of a second, with just behind Patrick Cowgill. It's Stephen Kirby who's 4th ahead of Rob Visor Jr. and Jose Medina sharing row 3. James O'Brien down in 7th place, but the last of those to qualify. After Martinsville's chaos, Pat Harvey, Luke Christian, Mathieu Denis, Matt Richter and Alex Hillman all not qualifying, I believe, all as a result of not being allowed to. I'll just read you the list of drivers not able to qualify. Luke Christian, Pat Harvey, Mathieu Denis, Mike Richter and Jerome Stanton, although his is outstanding from round 2, so I'm just imagining that he is just not being here as a result. So not everyone not able to qualify, but most of them down at the back. 82 Fahrenheit on the circuit, 4 p.m. in the afternoon here, Lorenzo. The sun is going to be going down, the temperatures will be going down with them as well. But it's Gabriel Perry and Abner Acosta sharing the front row in a very, very important race indeed.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and I think this is going to be a cautious opportunity to attack early, because this is a tire race of sorts. You can overstretch quite a lot of your fuel stand over here. I heard about like 70 something laps you can do, even more than that on your stint. So it's longevity. You have to speak about longevity, and with a very reduced grid that we have today in comparison to what we've seen throughout the season, mostly I think because of Veterans Day tomorrow in the United States, not here in Europe. But I think could be something that could play into the factor of a really long green flag run.
Let's see. Of course, we've had a lot of green flag running this season, and actually not getting underway here. There's a driver missing from the order. I'm not sure everyone is even taking the start here of those we have at the moment, from what I can see. I'm not sure Pat Harvey or Mike Richter have gotten onto the grid. We'll wait and see. Pat Harvey's not there. Oh dear. Well,
oh boy.
Well, Harvey is going to be racing, hopefully, but he's not here at the moment, as hopefully the pace car is about to pull in and not hit the wall. successfully.
Oh, man.
Barney does not hit the wall, or whoever is the pace car driver. I've forgotten even his name, but anyway, he's a better driver than whoever it was earlier who managed to smash up the pace car. Anyway, a couple of missing cars on the grid then for the race here today. It looks like we're going to get only 10 to start. Hopefully more will get underway a little bit later, including Pat Harvey, as they make their way round what is now known as turns 3 and 4. Get your head round that. It's time to go racing at Phoenix. 2 hours of racing remains in the PRL Cup Series in 2024. The green flag waves in Phoenix. We are racing again. Off of 3 and 4, it's Abner Acosta who leads ahead of Gabriel Perry, but then Patrick Cowgill, who was just alongside him for a brief moment there. It's a good start for James O'Brien here as well, by the way. He's moved up to 4th from 7th on the grid.
Yeah, and one thing we're going to probably notice as the run goes on is the usage of the dog leg. Over here, you can kind of use and abuse the dog leg coming in outside of turn number 1 here on the tri-oval, but it's like there's a certain amount of how many uses you can do or how aggressively you can go down, because it actually wastes a little bit of the rubber and can heat up the core temperature of the car. So let's see how this will pan out as the stint goes on.
Great run from Perry off of 2 here. Oh, and in the wall in the background, Alex Hillman hits the wall off of turn 2, and the caution will surely fly. At the moment, we stay green. I can't believe this at the moment. How there's no caution for that, I have got no idea.
I want to say maybe because of the car lane.
That is a miracle. Alex Hillman has smacked the wall at turn 2. Matthew Denis has had to come in as well. And somehow we stay green. This is what happened. Hillman's on the lower side here in the light blue. Looks like he's going to lose it on his own here. Just gets loose, smashes into the wall, then Matthew Denis didn't have anywhere to go.
Yeah, gold tire thing around Phoenix. Not the easiest track for you to drive on. You kind of have to nurse your throttling coming out of the corner so you don't overboost cars.
And the 2 finally brings out the caution. It's Luke Christian, actually. It's not the number 2. Already, though, we've got 3 very damaged cars. Pat Harvey, by the way, is in the race. He's 2 laps down. He'll get maybe one of those back here, but goodness me, what a chaotic start to the race. 3 damaged cars out of 11 already.
We're going to look on the replay. Christian, same thing, right? Basically a copycat of what just happened earlier. It's still cold tires, pushed way too aggressively out of the corner. I think the fixed setup, from what it looks like, seems to be a little bit looser coming out of the nearly flat turn number 2 and 3. But fortunately, let's see if Christian's damage is going to be all that aggressive. I think Pat Harvey was having a little bit of a giggle, saying like, I was just having a break. This is all planned.
No idea what he would have been doing there. At least he's here now, but slightly bizarre. Go on.
No, I think I know why. We've commentated this on Evra Endurance, like the teams taking the early caution, not the early caution, but the early penalty. I think that was a big brain trap from Pat Harvey. It's like, I know they're gonna crash eventually. I'm just gonna take the L right now. Maybe do an extended break, and I'm not gonna miss out too much on the action.
I mean, if he has planned it, then fair enough. But I'm not entirely sure that.
No, of course not.
That is the strategy. But there you go. He has got one of his laps back now, and he will be the free pass driver if there is indeed another one in the next few moments as well. It doesn't look like anyone's going to make a pit stop here. It is simply too early for that. Less than 5 minutes gone here. and so not worth the pit stop early on. What this does mean, though, is Abner Acosta is leading a few more laps, and very crucially, he is preventing Perry from leading a lap. So at the moment, Abner Acosta's got 2 bonus points to add to his race total as we run, and he's trying desperately to keep Gabriel Perry behind him so that the 13 does not get any bonus points for leading a lap, at least not yet.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing is, he's not going to be safe the entire time in that lead. This is a track that I think if you're P1 and P2, depending on how aggressively you push your tires early on, you can actually keep up with the lead. It doesn't break away, because I think how these new gen cars or current gen NASCAR Cup cars go, they have so much aerodynamical pressure and stability going around the corner, especially these mid-slow corners, that you can basically just cruise around the track without much of a hassle. As we're looking into the live standings, as O'Brien's deficit is just increasing by 2 points.
However, Acosta is gaining ground to just 9 points behind. What a championship finale we could be in for if those are the points at the end of the day. We'll wait and see whether that is going to be the situation. Lou Christian in YouTube chat says he's been used to open setups this week and didn't expect the slide he got there. He mentioned getting on the power is difficult, and we've already seen a couple of drivers falling afoul of that in 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's the nature of Phoenix. Even back in the old Phoenix days when they had the not current version, right? It was hard for you to get on the throttle because it isn't that much flat, and the corner kind of like dips out already quickly, as we're going to get our first restart of the race going on.
We are. There's only 8 still running. Looks like Lou Christian's out, and Machini and Alex Hillman are having some very long repairs indeed, as expected. So we may well be down to just the 8 of them for the moment. Abner Acosta gets underway again and gets clear, actually, of Gabriel Perry here early on. Out of turn number 4 they go. In the golden light, the setting sun here at Phoenix. The penultimate round of the PRL Cup Series. As the leaders go into battle again, just under 7 minutes gone. Gabriel Perry switches down low off of 2, and here he goes down low at 3 and 4. This is the run he's been hoping to get for some time now. He's to the inside of Abner Acosta. The 5 round the outside, and he will lead another lap here. Perry still not able to get through.
Yeah, but the dogleg gives an advantage at a certain point and kind of sets you up if you know how to do it properly on turn number 2 right there, and 3. So let's see how Perry will defend this line for moving forward.
Well, he's not able to get the run there on Acosta onto the old pit straight. Of course, what is now 3 and 4, these 2 corners used to be 1 and 2 around this circuit. And now Acosta chases Perry down low almost, blocking that line away from him. Perry's using that apron quite well off of turn 2, but with Patrick Cowgill down the inside, he's not going to be able to. The 31 slides up into 2nd place. That would have surprised the championship leader, and he loses 2nd here. He dives deep though into 3 and 4. He wants to earn that 2nd place back.
Yeah, outside he goes. That outside line gives a little bit of more of acceleration advantage coming out of the corner if you know how to hold that outside line a little bit better, at the cost of weighing some rubber a little bit. But Cowgill putting in a good fight right now.
Door to door off of turn 2. And Perry does get through. James O'Brien deciding not to get involved. Behind him is Stephen Kirby. Then Rolf Bissell Jr., Jose Medina, and Pat Harvey's running around at the back, waiting for that caution, of course, that would see him back onto the lead lap, if indeed he's lucky enough to get one. Perry can refocus now, though, on Abner Acosta, now that he's done away with Patrick Cowgill and re-overtaking him for 2nd.
Yeah, and he's going to go with the charge again. He's just going to try to find the opening for him to go through. It's like the more you spend on someone else's back bumper, is just going to heat up a little bit of the temperature of your engine, and trying to find proper lanes for you to do the overtake is just going to waste your rubber a little bit more. And like I said before, this is a tire track more than fuel-based track, you can overstretch your fuel quite a lot. So Perry's already going aggressive again on the inside.
Here he goes to the inside, Gabriel Perry. Oh, he slides up a little bit though. He didn't quite keep on the yellow line as he needed to there. And Patrick Carragher is going to be coming quickly as well now on the outside. He's not going to be able to go and use the apron through the dog leg. Does he switch back to the inside for 1 and 2? Decides not to. And Perry still second. He is desperately trying to find his way through here. You wonder whether it's better for him now to maybe play the long game. To start off this race, of course, really wanted to lead a lap, really wanted to get that bonus point, but he is not able to get through at the moment, and I wonder whether it's just worth backing off now a little bit.
I think right now we're going to be on the packy race, and you have kind of like a very tight window of sorts, an opportunity of sorts for you to strike, and that's where I think Perry's trying to act on. I have, like, let's just say, mentally speaking, I have 2 to 3 more laps, mentally speaking, where I think I have grip and heat in the tires, where I can still push on, despite not this being the hottest temperature in the air and even track temperature in the air in the season so far.
Look at this. Outside line for Perry. Look how high he can go as well through 1 and 2. It's a really quite flat corner there at turns 1 and 2. It's around 8 or 9 degrees or so. A little bit steeper into 3 and 4, but not much. Just a 10 or 11 degrees of banking there. It is not a very steep racetrack at all.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say, I think this race course, if we're trying to give a little bit of drawback as Perry nudges the wall a little bit, do you remember Nazareth Raceway from back in the old days when IndyCar used to go there? It kind of drives a little bit similar, but it's not as high speed as Nazareth was back in the old days. So it's just like, have patience, don't overdrive the car, and maybe you can find more openings as the stint goes on.
I don't remember that actually, but I do remember IndyCar going around here and finding it very difficult indeed to overtake back in the day.
Yeah, IndyCar is basically clean air is life. Over here is different. NASCAR is completely different.
Yeah, I've only been here 3 times in the 2010s, as it were, as a decade. Not been here for 6 years now. Of course, it now holds the championship race in the NASCAR Cup Series, as everyone well knows, I'd imagine, watching this. It's finished just a few hours ago, indeed. They are going to be hosting it for a 6th time next year, and then who knows, to be honest. We don't know at the moment, but it is the final race on the NASCAR calendar as of right now. But it's not the final race on this calendar. I think that's important to reference here. This really sets you up for the final race, because next week it's Atlanta. That is throwing up a complete load of unpredictability that the championship drivers would really rather avoid. So you want to be a points leader, surely, going into that race.
Absolutely, and we're going from a very slow and technical track of sorts. Phoenix has this new Phoenix layout with these cars, make it a little bit more technical, just because you need to know how to push your tires throughout your stint, and then go to plate racing. It's odd for us to think that we go from a track like this and then on to a plate race track in Atlanta. That back in the old days, let's just say 2 to 3 years ago, this wouldn't be considered a plate race, just because of how abrasive the Atlanta track was, even though it provided sometimes really close finishes. But I think the good thing is, I think NASCAR, for all its failures and its purposes, kind of like reconditioned the track to fit under the current regulations of the car and brought it back to life, in my opinion, for that track.
Yeah, I must admit I preferred the old Atlanta, but there you go, can't have it all.
Yeah, I know where you're getting at. I prefer the old Atlanta, like with the Gen 4 cars that are the ARCA cars nowadays, to this, because, you know, it had like that old school feeling. But I'm okay with being a plate race super speedway of sorts right now. I have no qualms with it.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting finale, that's for sure. Going to be difficult to keep up with, I can imagine. So far, we're 25 laps through here at Phoenix, 25 miles complete, and Gabriel Perry is still applying the pressure as he has been all season, or all race long, and all season long, I guess you could say as well, to Abner Acosta, who is the overall 2024 Cup Series champion, by the way. Pat Harvey is currently second in those standings, but he's 107 points behind. He confirmed last week, Abner Acosta, that he would be the overall champion for 2024, no matter what happens in these final 2 rounds. But will he be the Season 4 champion? He's got to come from behind here, and he's probably got to win this race, to be honest. 19 points between himself and Gabriel Perry. He can theoretically take the series lead today, but it would be a challenging task for him to actually get there, if indeed he can, and so he really needs to win, take those 5 bonus points for winning. Ideally, he's already got the pole position point, of course. He's got a lap led point as well. He needs to get another one for leading the most laps, I suppose, and then the 5 for winning the race, and he could have a nice total of 50 points by the end of the day. That would get him a bit closer to Gabriel Perry in the standings, and indeed James O'Brien as well, who's currently running in 4th place.
Yeah, but I think it's a point right now of trying to finish ahead and minimize the point gap, and then maybe have the last race of who finishes it out first comes with the title. Kind of like what happens in real life, but the likelihood of them tying up the score right now wouldn't work wonders for James O'Brien. It would more work into Perry's favor due to the fact he is a multiple winner, like 4 wins already in the season over here, so that he has a massive car in his advantage compared to the private label team hype driver.
Yeah, Perry confirmed last week that he would be the outright driver with the most wins at the end of this season, no matter what happens now. At the moment, though, he's more worried about holding on to 2nd place. That was a real bobble through turn 3 and 4. And now Patrick Cowgill got to the outside. He's very closely behind, and there's another wobble there on the way into 1 and 2. Perry beginning to slip and slide here. Not even 20 minutes into this race. The sun has gone in. The temperature of the racetrack is coming out a bit here, and Perry's struggling here. Cowgill alongside briefly, but he stays in 3rd for now.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a little bit of overdrive right there, and because of the overdrive, could have overheated his right rear a little bit. But fortunately for him, he just kept it at bay and didn't let the number 31 go through, as Cowgill has a massive skid out of the corner right now.
He is pushing hard, Patrick Cowgill. Just in behind, or just ahead of, I should say, James O'Brien, who at the moment is losing 2 points to Gabriel Perry. And it would be 6 points between them going into the last round of the championship. As things stand, by the way, Perry has got the fastest lap as well, so that would be an extra point to him. One of those bonus points to him. You can pick up a maximum of 10 in a day of bonus points, that is, so that makes the overall score, the best overall score, 53 points. Nobody has quite managed to do that yet, though, this season. The closest we've come is Gabriel Perry getting 52 during his win at Vegas, by a couple of seconds over Abner Acosta, who was chasing him down on that day. That's showing that Luke Christian's got the fastest lap, actually. Apologies, I didn't even spot him there because he's out of the race. I'm not sure you get the fastest lap point if you're out the race, but I'll check that. I think you do still get it, but anyway, I wasn't concentrating on him down there because he's already out. But if he goes out the race after just 5 laps and gets the fastest lap point, that'd be quite hilarious, actually.
Well, more hilarious than the pace car hitting the sand barrier.
That was a bizarre moment. That's for sure.
That is going to the annals of NASCAR history. I don't know if that would be just as bad as the Chevrolet president hitting his Corvette in Detroit. I think that was back in IndyCar.
Yes, yes. See, you don't forget these moments. Meanwhile, side by side between O'Brien and Cowgill, by the way. Perry's been losing time. There's been a stack up behind, and so James O'Brien has been given a chance. Down the inside he goes, and he does indeed get 3rd place away from Cowgill. Now can he go and attack the 13?
There's some cushion that he needs to make to get to Gabriel Perry right now, but like I said before, we kind of expected this to be a close race at the very start, and then slowly break away depending on how you overdrive the car, and also the draft effect plays into effect right here. It doesn't give a massive aero push like it does in Indy, used to do in Indy cars, but because you have that dirty air in front of you, it just builds heat into the tires and make your ride more uncomfortable as the stint goes on.
Robert Bisor Jr. is on his way as well here, by the way, but that was Stephen Kirby last time around getting overtaken. Well, not last time around, but a couple of times ago where we were watching O'Brien overtake Cowgill. Bisor Jr. was quietly passing Kirby. So he's now up to 5th place. Through 3 and 4 they go. And he's looking threatening here as we go through the 1/3 mark of this race. We have only completed 37 laps so far, and so they should again be going to halfway and then be making a green flag stop maybe, unless we get a caution in the next 10 minutes or so. And that should be the only stop of the day under green in at least 10 minutes or so time.
Yeah, I would say right now the cars are going to keep themselves in the track. I would say maybe we're approaching lap 40, right? I would say the delta for you to do your pit stop might open up, especially if you're in the mid pack in about 10, not going to say 10 laps, but 10, 12 laps ish. And then maybe risk it out with something that would be completely out of left field.
Oh. Cowgill there with a line that was very much left field. That was Robert Bisor Jr. going through, and that's one of the easier passes he'll ever make. Cowgill there getting it completely wrong into turns 3 and 4. And Robert Bisor Jr. goes down the inside and through. There we go, 4th place for Robert Bisor Jr. It's been a good race from him and a good recovery from him to come through the field here and get up to 4th place now, but he was rather gifted that by the number 31.
Yeah, and we've seen like a trend from Cowgill, right? Always having a really strong early stint, but kind of dips off somewhere mid to late stints, right? Even. So that's basically just being his detriment, something that he probably has to work on the 31. But so far, retained a good top 5 position while Stephen Kirby is giving chase.
He certainly has, and Bob Bisor Jr. will run away with 4th place. As a result here, Stephen Kirby will try and catch Patrick Cowgill maybe for a top 5 position. Abdur Acosta leads by 1.7 seconds. Oh, that's a big slide in the background, was it? For Cowgill, it certainly was. It was a huge slide. Oh, he's in the inside wall as well here, is Cowgill. He's not spun round quite enough to cause a caution. So he's going to get back out onto the circuit again, but he's damaged. Actually, he doesn't realise it, and he's gone past pit lane there.
Is he damaged, though?
It looks like it to me. This is the spin itself, and yeah, he's crunched the wall there for sure. There must be damage there.
Oh yeah, that's definitely damage right there. And I wonder how bad it is. I don't think the car was kind of like broken on the toe link when we saw coming out of the corner, but then again, like optical illusion can be played out to us as O'Brien is being faster lap by lap basis on Gabriel Perry. Perry's, I think his early push and an attempt to stay on that inside line and maybe skidding off and nearly hitting Acosta at a certain point in the race probably could be the reason why he's dropping off pace in comparison to the number 5.
This is very interesting. Acosta at the moment is destroying the field. Earlier on, of course, took his 81st pole position in the PRL. That's the most all-time, by the way, even ahead of Bradley Holly, who has done, or is going to do, his 500th PRL race this week. Of course, all 5 series are live again on the RaceSpotTV. Very much look forward to your company throughout the week. Tomorrow night we'll be back with the LMP2 GT4 Challenge from the Algarve in the penultimate round of their championship as well. So make sure you tune in about 9 PM ET every night now for the next couple of weeks as we get closer to rounding out our championships. 3 seconds now, the gap nearly for Abner Acosta. I wonder whether Perry's going to be tempted to make an early pit stop or do something here, or whether he's just going to lie down and try and defend from James O'Brien in the very late stages of now this first stint.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think right now he had to come to the pit lane, Calgill, but I think the other guys are going to be trying to stay to the track as much as they can. They cannot pit early. Pit early over here is basically admitting that you're going to yield defeat. So, problem is, how bad is this going to be for Perry, though? Because both O'Brien and Beast are catching him hard.
Here goes James O'Brien. Down the inside of Gabriel Perry. This is for the points lead, of course, in the championship. Just 4 points separate these two after a long season so far. A season in which James O'Brien has been oh so consistent. Third place, his lowest finish. And at the moment, he looks to be striding forward into second. Down the inside at turn 1 and 2. He parks it up high in front of the number 13. And James O'Brien will be second, just ahead of Gabriel Perry, his main championship rival. Although, does Perry come back again into 3 and 4? No. He decides not to. And James O'Brien, with that overtake, reduces the championship margin on the road to just 3 points.
But Perry's giving the fight. He has to kind of like get back. Oh!
Goodness me, that was close.
And nearly a checked up moment right there between the 33 and the 13. That could have ended in disaster for both of them.
Patrick Calgu, by the way, has been in for a long pit stop and he's back out after 3 laps down. We'll bring him in, actually he might be out the race. We'll bring him in for a chat in a few moments' time, but we've got quite the leading battle going on at the moment. And Rolf Bischoff Jr. is here as well. Maybe he can get amongst it. He's having a fantastic race so far.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this! Perry spinning! Oh, he's in the wall! The series leader! The points leader, Gabriel Perry, into the barriers, and the caution comes out.
My, oh my.
You could just see the tyres dropping away from him, and in the end, the car got away from him entirely. Is this a season-defining, a championship-defining moment for Gabriel Perry?
They said he was mortal. I think back in, what race was that? I think it was Las Vegas. They said he was mortal. So I think Martinsville and this track here in Phoenix are proving to be his kryptonite.
They've taken some lumps out of him so far. He's coming into pit lane with all the others here. It is pretty much halfway. As you can see, the gap right now would be literally 0 between Perry and O'Brien, but let's see what the pit stops are going to be like first. Of course, Pat Harvey, Patrick Calgu and Mathieu Denis will, sorry, not Calgu, he's out the race, but Denis and Harvey may well go round here. Harvey, of course, will get the free pass. Denis will go out around as well. You'd imagine Abner Acosta will be able to hang on to his lead with this pit stop here. Harry pulls in right, but behind him. There goes O'Brien, there goes Acosta. He will lead off pit lane, then it will be O'Brien, then Bissell Jr. 3rd. Stephen Kirby will be off 4th. Jose Medina will be 5th. And how much repair is Gabriel Perry going to have? He'd imagine there will be a little bit of repairs to be had here, but he will try his best to stay on the lead lap.
Oh, he's actually out of the pit lane.
Yep, he's that surprised me actually.
I think I know why. Have a guess.
I don't know.
I think if he goes to the pit lane again right now, right? If he has the option to opt in and go to the pit lane, if the pits are open, you go in now, do your repairs a little bit, like 30-second of repairs, right? If you have to do some. Take the loss right now of you kind of like being relegated to the back of like Gabriel Pat Harvey, for example, who's actually got his 2nd lap back, being the lucky dog.
Yeah.
And basically reset your whole race. I don't know how the car is going to perform in a long run though, but it's a gamble that you can actually take right here. But I don't think the pit lanes are open for him to do that kind of repair.
Well, let's see whether he does or not. In the meantime, we'll chat to Patrick Cowger, who has unfortunately retired from the race here after completing 47 laps. Welcome in, Patrick. Good to have you with us. Shame under these circumstances, of course, but tell us about what happened out there on the circuit.
I think I just overran it a little bit trying to get around Gabriel, and I just got a little loose and ended up nosing it into the inside wall, even though I thought I was going to catch it at first.
Yeah, it's proving tricky, this circuit. What have you made of it in your practice with this setup especially, which Lou Christian said it caught him out, bringing out the first caution. He said the fixed setup caught him out. Is that something to worry about here?
It seemed to, like, if you overdrove the entry, it seemed to get the car a little upset to where it would burn off the right rear a little bit more than you would want it to, and I think that was one of the biggest issues here.
And what's your reading of this race now? I know you're no longer part of it, unfortunately, but what's your reading of this race now? We've just under half an hour to go and everyone having just made a pit stop here.
Not really sure.
Fair enough. You're not there, so it's difficult to say. Patrick, thanks for coming to chat to us. Shame under these circumstances, as I say, but hopefully we will see you again next week.
Yep, see you guys.
Thanks very much. Patrick Cowgill there, retired, unfortunately, from the race here at Phoenix tonight. With just over half an hour to go at the time. Now, though, we've just ticked under half an hour to go, and a very important restart coming up. Gabriel Perry, at the moment, is going to be tied on points with James O'Brien, if indeed he doesn't gain some places here. The two teammates, Acosta and O'Brien, side by side to the line. The green flag waves again at Phoenix. We are racing with just less than half an hour to go in round 8. Look at Gabriel Perry off of turn number 2, round the outside of Jose Medina and Stephen Kirby. He's already up to 4th place as the teammates do the swap. The teammates do the swap. The first 55 laps led by Abner Acosta. James O'Brien secures an extra point there for leading lap number 56.
The machinations of this race, man.
So Abner Acosta has got 2 for pole position, 1 for leading a lap, and probably another one for leading the most laps here as well. At the moment, he's on course to score 52 points if he wins this race. Here's Abner Acosta. That would close him in by a good 11 on Gabriel Perry as things stand. James O'Brien at the moment is gaining 2 on Perry because of that lap lead and indeed the position ahead that he has at the moment, but Perry's already back to 3rd. Is he going to take better care of his tyres this time round, or is he going to try it even harder to get through into the lead?
No, you can already notice he's taking a more aggressive line on the entry, so he's burning a little bit more to the right rear. Question is, how is the temperature looking for that right rear of the number 13?
And he can't afford another crash like he's just had, surely. No. Surely he can't afford another one like that. And you know, I'm surprised he got away, to be honest, with the damage that he did in the first crash.
And it's so weird to think that outside line provides a little bit of a better run throughout the stint, doesn't it? Because you'd say, oh, inside line, you kind of like a little bit more safe, but playing it dangerously right there.
So you see how desperate Perry was to get to the outside line. He cut across O'Brien and very nearly spun himself across the nose there of O'Brien. Oh, in the background, Harvey nearly going for a spin, but he just about saves it.
I think the fact that the setup might seem to be a little bit more loose on corner entry and does that deprecates the corner exit. Like Calgo just said, it could be something that we have to observe moving on this early portion of the stint.
Here goes Perry for the lead. Oh, he looks up the inside of 3 and 4, but he doesn't go for it. Acosta now surely has led enough laps to secure himself the point for leading the most, so that's 4 bonuses already racked up. We're not seeing any fastest laps of the race here, by the way. That's still held by Lou Christian, and Matt's going to take it out of the championship debate as Acosta goes up high. Perry wasn't expecting that. His line has been taken away by the 5.
But I think he compromised the entry. Here he goes.
3 and 4. Perry pretty tentative on the entrance. He's not as good on the low side, I don't think, as he is on the high side. And so Acosta continues to lead, and he holds on again.
And again, Acosta riding that outside line.
And then James O'Brien. What can O'Brien do maybe to take the pressure off his teammate here in the 5?
I think O'Brien's job is don't do anything. Just keep at it. Because that's Acosta's job of, you know, positioning his car and taking as much of the lines away from the 13 as you can possibly do, and waste his rubber a little bit more throughout the stint. So he's doing the heavy work. The number 33 doesn't have to do anything, just keep it on the track.
Of course, no drop weeks next week, and so even if you had a very bad race at Atlanta, you still can't rely on your previous results. Not that Perry really can do that anyway. In fact, none of these guys can, to be honest. It's going to be a straight fight next week, and if things stay as they are, it's going to be an extraordinarily close one. Here goes Perry, looking for the move maybe, but he can't quite do it for the moment. As we run, he would be 9 points ahead of Abner Acosta, and still 4 ahead of James O'Brien. What a finale that could be in just 1 week's time, but there's still a long way to go here at Phoenix.
Oh.
And he's now got the outside. Has he stayed alongside? Not quite. Perry couldn't quite keep his nose alongside, but he's down the inside at 3 and 4. Is this the dive to maybe get a point, secure a point for leading a lap here? No, Acosta holds on at the line again.
But this is the first time they stayed side by side coming out of the corner, so this can be an advantage to the 13.
Oh, he's on the low side again. Don't think he likes it down there. Acosta doesn't mind either line. He's certainly better on the line he doesn't like than Perry is. And the 5 stays in front again. Still 24 minutes to go here. What a battle we're seeing.
I think Acosta's just like, if you wanna get the position, you have to earn it. I'm not just gonna give it away to you. I'm not gonna give 1 extra point for you just because I really want to medal in the battle. I got a teammate that I gotta help with. I might not go for the championship. I might have mathematical points, but realistically speaking, it's between O'Brien and Perry this one. So gotta help out your teammates the best way you can.
I mean, Acosta's halving his gap to Perry more than at this stage if they're running. So I think, you know, he is in with a chance here. Certainly if he wins these last 2 races, he's in with a great chance. Perry, meanwhile, gets to the inside line. And how's his run off this time? It's not bad. He's still along the corner, and there he goes, diving in. Acosta up high, a little bit loose there as well. But he's still got his nose just about ahead. He's surely secured the points now for the most laps led, by the way, Acosta. There's no way we can do enough laps now for him to be overhauled. He has banked the 2 for pole position and another 2 for leading a lap and leading the most laps. That's 4 points banked with still over 20 minutes to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And meanwhile, look at B-Saw coming in from that 4th car in the row to try to attack, trying to find lines on O'Brien to potentially overtake the number 33 from the private label team Hyperway.
22 minutes to go. It's around a half minute a lap here, by the way. We're just into the 28s now. Oh, and Perry's in the wall. Perry scrapes along the wall. He is throwing caution to the wind here. He wants this race lead badly, but I just fear he's doing a similar thing to his tyres to what he did in the first stint. And look at him losing time. Wants a little scrape along the barrier. Acosta's free, and James O'Brien's putting the pressure on.
Every touch that you do on that wall is just gonna increase the core temperature of the right rear. So you should expect Abner to start opening up a gap right now.
Yeah, he's got half a second. And how far is Perry going to fall? That's the concern here. If he finishes 5th, he'll be tied on points with James O'Brien as things stand in the points. And Stephen Kirby is not that far behind him, so that is a real concern, I think, for Perry at the moment. Here comes O'Brien and Bissell Jr. on the way towards 3 and 4. O'Brien looking to the inside and applying that pressure. As soon as Perry's looking in his mirrors, that pressure is alleviated from the 5, and the lead can go away now for Abner Acosta.
Yeah, but the gap is actually dwindled 0.2 of a second. It's rounded between 2 to 0.3 of a second between both of them. So whatever Perry's doing, it's actually working right now.
He has somehow clawed this back, but again, I fear for his tyres. There's still over 20 minutes to go here, and it feels like a very long way for how he's treating those tyres.
Yeah, we're at lap 75 out of potential 128 in this race. Rubber-wise, I don't think he's going to have a lot of rubber to be able to push just like this and get away unscathed.
I think our prediction of 128 might just be falling short of that now, but I think 120 certainly we can expect here tonight now with the couple of cautions we've seen tonight. And who's to say there won't be another caution, by the way, before the end of the race as well?
Yeah, that's possible, but then again, they would have to get scrappy and go side by side or over push the car way too much on the latter portion of this thing. I hope they're already used with this fixed setup by now to say, oh, I can avoid the wall on a late run. That could trigger a late yellow flag that could end it all.
So the only bonuses that are available now is the fastest lap and the 5 bonuses for winning the race, of course. Lou Christian at the moment still holds the fastest lap, and we'd need probably a late race restart and a new set of tyres for that to come under any threat. So it really is about the race win here. And if Abner Acosta can do this, it would be a huge moment in his championship, a huge stride forward. As things stand, he's only 5 behind his teammate James O'Brien and 9 behind Perry in the point standings. Robert Bissell Jr. meanwhile closes right up to the back of O'Brien and Perry. He is here as well, as is Stephen Kirby, currently in 5th place.
Yeah, if you look at the lap delta between all these guys, it's pretty much one and the same. Like, for example, Costa doing nearly a 28.2 flat, and everybody's kind of like doing the same field of laps around Phoenix. So the pace of these guys are putting is just something out of this world. It's extraordinary.
James O'Brien was just looking to the inside there of Perry, with Bissell looking to the inside of him. But Perry's starting to struggle a little bit. What's the lap time this time round for him? He's just losing that bit of time. 600ths of a second lost to O'Brien that time as Bissell Jr. looks to the inside. O'Brien is suddenly having to go on the defensive hit from the number 3.
Yeah, but I think with the fact that you have like 3 cars in front, Bissell isn't going to find any lanes for him to attack. He's probably going to have to be a little bit patient and count with the air of James potentially to get around and pounce. But for now, the 3 staying patient and try not to allow Kirby to get within this very close range of all these guys up in the front, despite the gap being around a second.
And Perry suddenly has gotten right onto the back of Acosta. So after all that time defending from O'Brien, Acosta suddenly under pressure. Oh, Perry scraps the wall again. He's taking 1 step forward at the moment, Perry, and then 2 steps back a couple of moments later, and O'Brien will go on the attack again. Oh, slow through 3 and 4. Gabriel Perry moves up high. And James O'Brien, with 16.5 minutes to go, is going to move to the inside. And with this pass, half his championship deficit to the number 13. They run door to door through 1 and 2. Perry round the outside should get a nice run here. O'Brien slides on the exit of the corner. Is Perry going to be able to get down low? He sends it in. He slides. He's gone again. The championship leader spins spins around and saves it. We stay green, but he loses his championship lead with that very moment there.
Ooh. There's so, like I said before, there's only so much you can push the car without being punished in the midst of all these things, right? So, like I said before, Acosta did a heavy load. All that James O'Brien needed to do is just wait. Just wait. And when he found out that, Perry's right rear was basically gone, he just put a little bit of pressure, just that push. And that was enough to make the 13 spin around and get from second to all the way down back to 7th.
Goodness me. Perry now losing 6 points to James O'Brien. He would be 2 behind the number 33 going into Atlanta. What a change and a turnaround here in Phoenix. Abner Acosta at the moment would be gaining scores of points over Gabriel Perry, but he wouldn't be getting ahead of him as of right now. He started the day, of course, 15 behind James O'Brien, did Abner Acosta. At the moment, gaining 10, and he'd be 5 behind going into the last race. Can you imagine that? 3 drivers covered by 5 points at Atlanta next week. What a finale that could be, and it will be like that if things stay as they are. But O'Brien's got to defend from Bissell Jr. and Stephen Kirby, and Gabriel Perry has got a chance to overtake Jose Medina for 6th place as well.
The gap's coming down though a little bit, I think. At 3,000 of a second. Well, the gap came down, but 3,000 of a second is nothing between these guys right now.
Bissell Jr.'s just got a couple of car lengths further away from making this move rather than closer now. Perry is no closer to making that move either. He was very close to Medina not so long ago. But now all of a sudden, half a second opens up between them. And he's probably praying for a caution at this stage, but don't really see where it's going to come from. He is the most likely candidate to bring that one out, to be honest, given how loose he has been earlier on in the day. And now down in 7th place, he really can't afford any other mistakes. He's pretty much on the back of Medina now and needs to rescue this position just to gain just 1 more point in the standings.
Yeah, for him to survive, he needs that position. And but from what it looks like, Medina started to do 498, 1,000 of a second faster than his previous lap, and Perry's on the 28.5s. I don't think because of the half spin that he got on turn number 3 going to 4 that he has grip enough for him to say, oh, I can catch and overtake the number 24. I think 7th place right now is the position that is gonna end with in this race if it carries on like this.
At 1.1 seconds the gap at the very front. Abner Acosta looking in control. If he can win today, he would be alone as the 2nd most wins in the PRL. He's currently sharing that title with Richard Regan Jr., who gained his 81st last week. He pulled back ahead again though, would Acosta, with this vital win, should he get it. 12 minutes to go. Probably another 25 laps left now as we come to the end of lap number 92. We're not quite going to get to 120, I don't think, by the end, actually, with a couple of cautions, but who's to say there won't be another one before the end of this race. It is going to be a crucial one as far as this championship decider is concerned. James O'Brien needs to hang on to 2nd place, and at the moment he is, at the expense of Robert Bissell Jr.
And I think this could be Bissell's best result so far in the season. I think first time podium finish in the season so far for the number 3.
He's not been in the top 5 yet, has Robert Bissell Jr.
I think he flirted with top 5 a few times this season already, yeah, but he never got into it.
7th place at Bristol, 6th place at Kansas. He's been around, for sure. A 10th place finish at Talladega and 9th in Homestead. Those are his top 10 finishes, 4 of them out of the 7 races so far. But this is an important day for him as well. I mean, he'll be moving up to 4th place in the driver's standings if things stay as they are, ahead of Unai Yamas and Jean-Michel Gagnon, neither of whom are here today. So this should be a great return for Vitor Jr. on his efforts for the season to be in 4th place with 1 race to go.
Absolutely, he's gonna appreciate the fact that being consistent this season sometimes pays off, and getting that top 5 spot in the standings is what is gonna matter quite a lot, and probably give him a morale boost going into Atlanta.
What an important final race that is going to be at Atlanta Motor Speedway in 1 week's time. Make sure you join us for that one. It is going to be absolutely barnstorming, I'm sure. Gabriel Perry is losing time to Jose Medina in the meantime. We're into the last 10 minutes at Phoenix, and the number 13 is getting no closer to 6th place and no closer to another championship point.
And I think the gap is just going to widen and widen between Medina and Perry. Perry is not going to cash. That tire is gone. He's just going to try to nurse it out and see this race through the end, and basically reset himself to the plate race that is going to be at Atlanta in about a week time.
A race in which he'll have to finish ahead of James O'Brien unless there's extremely unusual circumstances. So that is some pressure, especially considering Perry having led this championship now for quite some time. He had those 3 wins in a row, of course, starting from his victory at Charlotte, the Roval, running all the way to 2 weeks ago, and the race at Homestead, Miami. And he's been leading the championship for some time now, but especially since the drop week was applied. However, he's going to lose that now, and he's on the back foot, the momentum going away from him into the last round.
Yeah, but if you try to think about it at the same time, he never led with comfort, with quite a comfort towards the other drivers, doesn't it? Because he always had like O'Brien being very consistent, getting like top 3 results here and there, and Acosta also getting a very second half late surge in the race, as Biso's going to have the opportunity. Here he goes.
Wow, Robert Biso Jr. down the inside of James O'Brien, who just made an error through turn 3 and 4 there, and he is going to be overtaken by Biso Jr. That allows Acosta and Perry to get 1 point closer on the road. Robert Biso Jr. slides into second, but he slides too much. It's too far, and he's lost second. Just as soon as he gained it, he loses the place almost immediately.
The downsides of running the bottom lane on turn 3 and 4 here, sorry, 2 and 3 respectively. Oh, 2 going to 3 in Phoenix is why this track is so tricky, because the shallow bank just makes a lot of contact in the ground and does heat up the core temperature of the tire, and that rear is gonna be scorching for a few laps right now.
Certainly is, but it doesn't seem to be affecting him. Look at how quickly he's going down the inside here of 1 and 2. He's looking again here, is Robert Biso Jr. He knows there's a chink in the armour of James O'Brien here, and he's trying to exploit it for second place and his season best finish. It's going to be a season best finish whether he finishes second or third if he stays here, but he would really rather it be second, and that's what he's looking to achieve here with 6.5 minutes to go.
And going bottom lane again, trying to just keep the throttle. You have to manage the throttle right here. And he's going to check up a little bit with the 33 just right in front and right at the dirty air of that car. Meanwhile, this kind of like brought the Stephen Kirby back to life on this one, doesn't it?
It has a little bit. He's a little bit closer anyway. Not sure he's going to quite get involved in this battle, to be honest. But he'll take a third place, or second indeed, if they collide here. We're getting towards the end of the race now, of course, in the stage in which we can't have a caution. Otherwise, we will be finishing under that caution. That's happened on all of these short tracks so far this season. At Bristol to start the season, and Martinsville last week as well. Hopefully, we get a green flag run to the end here at Phoenix with just over 10 laps to go now. Hopefully, this is the last green flag run, and we see this through to the checkered flag.
Meanwhile, Pat Harvey's gap to Jose Medina is actually shrinking quite considerably. I was looking at the last few laps. Harvey's just being much slower than the number 24, so there could be a change for top 5 in a little bit, and maybe just make Pat Harvey's life a little bit more miserable on the point standings, looking for a top 5 result.
Now, let's see. Medina might be able to get through here in the not too distant future, and if Harvey is really struggling, will that allow Perry to get a bit closer?
Oh no, no.
Have you seen something, or are you saying no, that's not going to happen?
No, that's not going to happen. It's a whole story. Perry's slower by 0.2 of a second average per lap, so he's not going to catch up.
Well, he has really struggled towards the end here, Gabriel Perry. And 2.6 seconds now, the gap for Abner Acosta, who looks like he's on his way to his first win in 7 weeks now. He's come close in the meantime, of course. Finishing 4th at Kansas. He finished second at Homestead as well, don't forget. But this time round might be the top step again. 4 minutes to go here. Probably 8 laps left of this race now. Although we'll see about that, actually. It might be 9. We will wait and see. Can Robert Bissell Jr. find a way through in these final 9 laps or so?
But do you see how interesting is the wheel movement from Bissell, right? And not the one thing you really don't want to be doing is sewing the tires way too much, because if you do the sewing of the tires, it's just gonna put more stress on the fronts and rears overall. Therefore, lose grip and add more temperature to the core of those tires. So he's trying to nurse it out through the corners as smoothly as he can with this 57 laps and 58 laps in that he has going on, to avoid spinning out of the car and cause the race-ending yellow flag.
Well, as things stand, unless there's an exceptionally unusual situation. No, actually, that's not even that. If things stay as they are, James O'Brien and Gabriel Perry have the chance to win the championship with a win next week, no matter where the other finishes. That's the kind of day we're having here. There is the current gap. 2 points to O'Brien for Perry, and Acosta 6 points back. What a final race it's going to be, with 3 drivers coming by just 6 points.
And so for Perry, best case scenario is Bissell overtakes O'Brien in the next 3 to 4 laps.
Yep. That would still only reduce the margin to 1, though, don't forget. He would still be the series leader with O'Brien, as long as he finishes on the podium as things stand. And Bissell Jr. is looking here. 2 minutes to go. It looks like it'll be 4 laps to go. And he's going down the inside in the 3. O'Brien sends it in. They'll both leave everything out on the road now. They'll use up their tyres to their very last as they go over the line. 4 laps to go.
And I think Bissell trying to make O'Brien go a little bit wide on the corner and overshoot his corner a little bit so he can actually catch up with the speed difference out of the corner, but that wasn't the case. So good battle for towards the end of the race right here.
As you can see as well, the gap between 4th and 10th in the championship is only 18 points. This would give Bissell Jr. a better chance of finishing 4th if he can get this move done. O'Brien defends to the inside line through the dogleg. He knows just the pressure he's under right now. In towards 1 and 2, he's not quite kept the yellow line. He's drifted upwards. Here goes Bissell Jr. to the inside line off of 2.
It kept it stable this time.
Important points for the championship. Going Robert Bissell Jr.'s way. He goes up though into the side of O'Brien very nearly. 2 laps to go, and the 3 is very much alongside now. He's got his nose ahead at 1 and 2, and he slides up in front. Oh, there's a big slide as well. But he's got the place. They're about to see the white flag, I think. Abner Acosta with 1 more lap to go here at Phoenix. Robert Bissell Jr. has got just a few moments to hang on here as well. Into turn 1 and 2. James O'Brien's championship lead will be just 1 point by the looks of things as Abner Acosta comes into the final few corners. He is going to lead 116 of this 117 lap race. He's going to see the white flag. Excuse me, time has elapsed. iRacing has decided that wasn't the final lap. This one's going to be.
And we're all set for a very NASCAR-esque current NASCAR-esque playoff shootout style race at Atlanta. Should be a good one.
Winner takes all as things stand. There's the checkered flag. There's Abner Acosta. He wins for the 82nd time in the PRL. And Robert Bissell Jr. with a great drive, a season best finish of 2nd ahead of James O'Brien. The 33 will be the series leader, the points leader, going into the final race in Atlanta. Abner Acosta will only be 5 points further behind. What a championship finale we're going to have in 1 week's time. Private label team hype pretty much sealing the team's championship, by the way, tonight as well. Although they already knew they were in a very strong position to do so anyway. It was a good day for DDI Motorsports as far as their charge goes. Kirby and Medina getting much better finishes than the Solpec driver, Mathieu Denis. And so they may well move up to 2nd in the team's championship. That's pretty much all sorted, but the drivers is very much on, going to Atlanta next week as Abner Acosta does his celebratory donuts and crashes into the wall here at Phoenix as well. There you go, there's your burnout. He celebrates not a championship, but indeed his invitation to the party. It is his 82nd PRL victory after leading all but 1 laps here tonight ahead of Robert Bissell Jr. and James O'Brien. Stephen Kirby with a great finish in 4th. Pat Harvey recovered from not even being here at the start of the race, and he's finished 5th. Jose Medina and Gabriel Perry rounded out those on the lead lap. Mathieu Denis ran round to get some points for Solpec, but they will lose 2nd in the team's championship. Patrick Cowgill for Waterback Racing finishes in 9th place ahead of Luke Christian, who brought out the first caution of the day. And surprisingly, Alex Hillman and Mike Richter didn't bring out the first caution of the day, although they didn't return from their respective incidents. We'll be joined in a few moments' time by the podium drivers, hopefully. But Lorenzo, that was a fantastic finish to the race. Rob Bissell Jr., I think, driver of the day for me, getting ahead of James O'Brien right at the very end there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Driver of the day with all the merits and glitters. Maiden, well, podium finish over here in this season for him. Like we said before, was flirting with that, never got into it, never got within the top 5. Finally breaking through that top 5 window. Let's see if he can finish it out strong for the final race of the season and maybe potentially get a solidify that top 5 result in the standings. And I'm interested to see how that winner takes it all race at Atlanta and a play race should play out for them.
Let's chat to the race winner, Abner Acosta, in the 5 car. Congratulations, Abner, on a victory tonight. Dominant as well, only not leading one of the laps. You were at the head for the rest of the race. Tell us about the circuit and how the fixed setup was interacting with Phoenix here tonight.
Yeah, the race was good, and the set was actually good. You just have to take it easy because at the longer stance, your car just falls off. So I was just trying to take it easy the race and defend my position and kind of just take off at the end.
In the provisional points, obviously this is without stuff being applied post-race that might happen, but provisionally, we believe you're just 5 points off James O'Brien, the new championship leader. How possible do you think it is for you to take this title next week at Atlanta with that margin?
It's very possible. Definitely, I want one of us to win, so I don't know if it's new Atlanta or old. If it's the new one, it's like a super speedway one, then I hate super speedways, but we'll see. Again, I think the goal here is for James or me to win it. So we'll work on that.
I think it's the new one, much to your dismay, but I think it's the new one. There's no indication that it's the old one on the schedule, so we'll see next week, I suppose. But congratulations on winning tonight here, Abner, and thanks very much for coming to chat to us as well.
All right, thank you guys. Have a good night.
Thanks very much. Abner Acosta there, the winner tonight here at Phoenix, ahead of Robert Bissaw Jr., who can now chat to us as well. Welcome in, Robert. Good to chat to you from second place finish here tonight in the 3-car. Tell us about that late pass on James O'Brien. It was very exciting to watch. How was it in the car?
It was a handful, I can tell you that. I think James was just getting a little tight, and he did give me plenty of room to run down there. So I was extremely loose. I tried it a couple times, but yeah, it was a handful, to say the least.
And tell us about what this race result it means for you now. I don't know how much this means, but you're up to 4th in the championship for whatever that's worth. It's the best result of the season so far as well. Just how pleased are you with that finish put into context here?
Yeah, this track isn't great for me, so I am happy with the finish. And, it is obviously a small field. Our numbers are kind of getting down. I really hope that we can get the lead strengthened back up. But I just look at where I was. Abner, I could see him at least, and I know James is always consistently fast, so I'm just going to gauge it off of that and say it was a very good run for me.
Well, congratulations on your season best finish of second, and thanks for coming to chat to us as well.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Thanks very much. Robert Bissaw Jr. there, second place here tonight, just ahead of James O'Brien, who he passed late on. Welcome in, James. Good to have you with us. New series leader, points leader by just one singular point. How are you feeling, though, after this race at Phoenix?
For as small as a field that was, it was still a really hard race, just trying to keep the car underneath me. It was very, very loose at the end, as I'm sure you saw, but just glad it's over. It was tough.
You are, though, the new series leader. How are you feeling about that 1 point, a very small margin over Gabriel Perry? I mean, either of you could win it with a race win, no matter where the other finishes. So that really does put it all on the line. How are you feeling about that going into such an unknown circuit as well, in a sense, of Atlanta?
Well, I that's one of my favorite tracks. I don't know if it's the old or the new version, but judging on how I haven't won a race this season, not the greatest, but I mean, you never know. There's always the twists and the turns, and we'll see what happens. I mean, he showed that he was not invincible tonight, so next week, hopefully a few more people show up and we can have a good, fun race and the winner take all.
Absolutely. Congratulations on Thursday night, James, and thanks for coming to chat to us as well.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, James O'Brien there, third place tonight here at Phoenix. Well, that is it for this round of the championship. Round number 8 here from Phoenix is complete, but unlike in the Real Life Cup Series, we go on further here in the PRL. Atlanta Motor Speedway is going to host our finale in 1 week's time. Join us from 9 p.m. Eastern to find out who is going to be the 2024 Season 4 PRL Cup Fixed Series champion. A big thanks to everyone who's tuned in over the course of the evening. Make sure you come back again tomorrow for LMP3 and GT4 action from the Algarve. We're live 5 nights a week once again here on RaceSpotTV with Precision Racing League action this time around, so I hope to see you then. For now, though, for myself, Ian Leary, Lorenzo Ponder alongside me, and Hugo Louise behind the cameras, it's goodbye for now, and we'll see you in 1 week's time for the finale in Atlanta.